besides that, this scale's going pretty well, okay? It's a bit more out of tune than the major, but it's in tune enough to speed up. So you shifted down also on the E string into first position. That doesn't matter because it just does it on the A string. So do it on the A string, but if you happen to do it on the E string accidentally, it doesn't really matter, okay? We'll go over and do that. Can you hear that? Semitone. And this is the last octave of the scale. Do you see the A flat before the G natural? Do you see that one there?
Yeah.
So it's a flat 4 to a normal 3. Don't play this. It's a semitone. You know how F natural is a 1?
Yeah.
A low 1? F flat is
What?
nothing. If you were in first position. Isn't that very strange?
Yes.
And playing off the bottom of the violin. So in the scale, you should be in third position still, so it should just feel like a low finger. But if you're ever in first position and you have to play an F flat, you play it as an open E. It's very strange. You hear that? See how it sounds right? Because it's an F flat. And hopefully you could hear the open E. It's a tricky thing, but we're playing in a tricky key really high up on the A string. And I think you came onto third position, but make sure you go up high on the A, and then it feels like the arpeggio shape 1-3-1-4. Yeah, and you know that shape? Like that's the major shape. Nice and high there, yeah. Great. It's fast for me. Or arpeggios, and you can practice scales a little bit faster than the normal scales. That's pretty good. And then play the D and the F sharp. Good. And try this for me. Good. Like this. Good. That's very good, Levi. They're sounding in tune. Now, at the bottom note. And when you're putting the bottom note in, you're changing this to, instead of being like that, yeah, you're doing this too much when you're putting the 4 in. So keep the 2 back. It's a semitone below the 3. Do it again. So bring the F sharp flatter when you play the full chord. That's it. But when you put the 4th finger on, keep it down. Yep. Yeah, do you hear how the F sharp's very sharp there? So that's what you'll have to work on at home. So when you're playing the 2 fingers, it sounds good, and as soon as you add the 4, you're doing this accidentally, okay, with this finger and coming sharp. So you can work on that at home. What sequence is?
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me an 4 and 5?
Yeah.
See how it's a big G minor chord,
Mm-hmm.
and then it comes down with a slur down the scale.
Mm.
Then the next couple of bars, it's a big D arpeggio chord, and then it comes with a slow down the scale. So it's like the same shape is the best way to put it. It's an arpeggio and then a scale down. And then it does a different arpeggio up and a different scale down, but it's the same shape. That's what we call sequence in sequence everywhere. As soon as you start seeing it, you'll start noticing it everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have bar 12?
Shape. Look.
Then it goes on to a new shape. So we call that sequence, and Bach usually does lots of 3 shapes together and then moves on to a new shape and does that shape 3 times and then moves on to a new shape and does that shape 3 times. We call it sequence way, and then the next one the same way, and then you move on to the new shape. And that's the rule of 3s. There's the rule of 3 in lots of things in life, like comedy or in music. Okay, and after 3 times, you usually move on. Otherwise, it gets too repetitive. B naturals and B flats in that whole section. So you keep your first fingers down on your A string, and it will sound a lot better. And I want you to try to find 3 times sequence happens. So 3 separate shapes that repeat. And I want you to circle the 3, and then I want you to tell me about it next week. Okay, and we'll play the second section, and you'll tell me where the 3 shapes are. So there should be 9 bars. Sometimes the sequence happens and it's only a half bar sequence and it goes over the bar, so they're short, but there should be around 9 bars that you circle, okay, of the pattern repeating 3 different times. So next week I want to hear what haven't we played for a while out of your music, okay? Okay. All right. And I'll see you then. You can absolutely play everything else throughout the week. Like you can play lots of stuff, but I just want to let you know what we're going to be doing definitely next lesson.
Okay.
Okay?